this would appear to be the UG maintenance area. You should find a terminal there. Something they use to upload mission parameters to the UGs.
And something I can use to access the lab's main server?
Perhaps. But first you need to take a dump.
Wait, what?
A dump? A digital optical output mounted proxy. You'll need one to interface with the terminal. Most any UG should suffice. A tripod or the like.
I'll see what I can come up with. How do I use it?
Simply connect to it. You should be able to use your communications outlet to control the proxy UG.
Alright, let's give it a shot.
You say dump and then you say most any. So come up with a better acronym, please. Alright, so the interface is calling it a dwarf gecko at least, but the game is calling them tripods.
Have you located any tripods, Raiden?
None around here.
They may be clustered near a single spot. A maintenance area, perhaps. Have you checked there?
I will now.
You have entered the lab.
Yeah. You're falling behind, Wolf.
My apologies.
It's fine. Just get here as soon as you can.
I have failed in my duties as a scout. There is no excuse. This has never happened to me before.
I said it's fine, Wolf. It's no big deal. Just get here ASAP, okay?
Thank you. I shall redeem myself. I swear that to you.
Yeah, okay.
Your master is just a better boy than you are, Wolf. Standard cyborgs at last. Yeah, let's do this.
Right. I thought you said stealth ops were your specialty.
Oh, I never said that. Oh god. Is that a gecko or a raptor? Would have got the perfect parry there, but no. Yeah, it's a raptor. Okay, so fighting one at a time, that's actually ideal, I think, because that'll give me an opportunity to see what this thing can do. Must miss. I gotta run from that. Oh, there's a second. Shit. Okay, so that one's disabled. I can pretty much ignore it now, I hope. And concentrate on this one if I can actually get the thing to lock on. You can see a red flash, but I saw the attack. You can see that one though. Could have been a lot worse.
Raiden, if they continue to increase security, they may shut out all outside network connections. Please do your best to avoid being seen.
I thought this wasn't how this game was played. Okay, so we came through there, that shot behind us. We initiated combat. Where are we going? anything up there to grab the homing missile? Can I go through here? No. How can I fight those? Preferably not all at once, but I'd love to fight those because I need the practice. Oh dear. That's a lot of processing power. Alright, I think we're fighting those two raptors very shortly. Damn you. Come on. Oh no, not good, not good, not good. Let's do that. Didn't even see how I did that, but okay. So the slide attack works really well against these dudes, and I can see that I can enter blade mode immediately and screw them up like that.
Is it over?
For now, yeah. But that room, those were cyborg brain casings.
Duh. We saw.
George said they were harvesting organs from kids.
Yeah,
Yes. This must be why they are trafficking children.
I can do math.
Perhaps other organs are being sold elsewhere, but they are definitely taking the brains.
Jesus. Are they making these kids into cyborgs?
I thought UGs.
The cyborgs you've been fighting, did they seem like they might be kids?
What about the
You
UGs?
said earlier that child soldiers have a telltale approach to combat.
Yeah, but I didn't see it here. Those weren't kids.
So, what? Desperados just doing the surgeries there?
We've got to do something about all those brains. And the other kids George was talking about. He just escaped a few hours ago. They couldn't have taken all their brains out that fast.
True. There could still be a bunch of kids they haven't touched yet.
I better move.
I think we can move after I've taken a look at the customization options and after I've had a chat to everyone on the codec. So I see I've got about 60,000 BP to spend. Also, I haven't looked at this sub-weapon at all. Looking good there, Raiden. Can I actually change that? No. I did unlock the... Yeah, I've definitely unlocked that. It was equipped. Yes, I think it was equipped. But I haven't seen an option to actually use that thing yet. Right, so I can't unlock... Oh, we got some new... No, I saw those yesterday. They're not new. But I'm not sure how we use those. Or I can purchase those. You know what? Let's purchase this stuff. Aerial parry. Sky high. There might be a quicker way of doing a launcher. Oh, hello. Falling lightning, 15,000. Twist freely in the air and dive down like a lightning bolt. Kick foes with devastating results. That sounds like a better version of the Helm Cracker or Helm Splitter or whatever it is. Thunderstrike. Ooh. Okay, I no longer have enough BP. Rapid series of damaging attacks. Enabling him to attack immediately as he draws his blade. Okay. There was nothing new on the HF blade here? No, I've got all that. Let's just check out some of these new skills and then we'll have a look at the codec and then move on. The hell was that asking for? Up, literally up, or... Alright, one sec. That just feels very awkward to pull off. I'd much rather do this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did I not have the unique weapon equipped? All of my heavy attacks have just changed. Damn it. Apologies everyone, I genuinely thought that was equipped. Yes, so what I could normally do is do a heavy attack, delay a second, and then push it again, then that would launch me. Similar to that attack with the blade, which also acts as a launch. Yeah, I can do that, or that. Those are the first two skills there, which were Sky High and Thunderstruck. Got a whole bunch of stuff with the polearm, which I'm not going to look at now. And I assume the other stuff that I unlocked is basically not accessible because I've got the polearm equipped. Alright, so let's take a look at the codec and then we'll move on. And then we'll test out this new weapon in combat perhaps.
I'm worried about the kids they haven't got to yet. But what about those brain units? They're just brains, but they're still alive. I won't just abandon them.
Duh. I will discuss with Doctor. There must be artificial bodies they can use, not like the combat type you have. Maintenance must be considered, of course. But with today's technology, they can at least live comfortably enough as cyborgs.
Yeah, maybe. Physically, anyway. Society may say otherwise.
Yes, but we will worry about such problems after they are rescued. For now, though, let us concentrate on the intact children first.
You got it.
That's one way of putting it.
Man, I couldn't have imagined anyone would cut the brains out of kids.
What are they even doing this for? Why make them into cyborgs?
I don't know. They say child soldiers are both bolder and more obedient than adults, but...
They are. On both counts. But the surgeries alone would cost a fortune. Not to mention all the training.
Yeah, I don't get it either. For now, you just look for the kids they haven't operated on yet. We come in too late on this, and things are gonna get a whole lot messier.
You were talking earlier about runaways. Kids who could go back home if they wanted.
Right. A lot of times they're fleeing problems at home. For a kid like that, life on the street's dangerous, sure, but maybe better than the abuse they got at home. They can go home if they feel like it, but they choose not to.
That's a whole other level of tragedy.
Yep.
It's a pretty common case in Latin America, as opposed to Africa, where you've got a lot of war orphans. Kids like those sometimes get victimized by the people around them, even killed. Sometimes by the cops. That's what happened in Brazil in 1993. The Candelaria massacre. 8 kids were killed.
How could families abuse their own kids? What's the trigger?
I was wondering that too. I did some reading up on it. A lot of times the mother remarries, and her husband ends up abusing the kids she brought along. It's actually a pretty common story in first world countries too. The mother's too scared to do anything. She just wants her new man to love her. A lot of the abusers are addicted to drugs or alcohol too, leading to neglect. If their parents can't be bothered to feed them, kids are forced to hit the streets for food and money.
And these are the kids desperados rounding up? Kinda makes you ashamed to be a human being.
Yeah, it's definitely evil, all right.
But even if we got them out, It's not like they've got happy homes to return to, right?
Exactly. Most of them, well, a lot of them don't make it to see adulthood. Or they join gangs, end up exploiting the next generation. It's a vicious cycle.
Our only option's to follow the money trail. Find out who's profiting from all this. And put them out of business permanently.
Yeah. Guess that starts now, huh?
It's all very fucked up.
I can't believe they're extracting children's brains. Can't we do anything?
I don't know. That's something I need to discuss with Doc. For now, I gotta worry about the kids they haven't operated on yet. As long as they're held hostage, no way am I gonna be able to get the brains out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, you better hurry. Oh, but maybe you should save first. All right. Be careful out there, okay?
Alright, Doctor, what's your fucked up perspective on this fucked up situation?
What do you know about these brain units, Doc?
It is a type of canister conceived to transport a cyborg's brain in a physiologically secure state. It's designed for quick, lower-risk implantation. Each one is equipped with a rudimentary environmental control system. So long as power is uninterrupted, the unit can protect the brain from temperature changes and other fluctuations in the local environment. I would imagine they regulate the brain supply of oxygen and glucose as well.
That's what I thought. I've seen these before, but I didn't think there were that many of them out there.
Oh, manufacturing's exploded alongside the rise of cyborgs, though they're still made by only one company. The chassis also functions as an impact liner, absorbing impact and preventing organic damage. It's durable against impacts up to 700 G, which would be enough to permanently damage an unprotected brain.
Sounds like military spec stuff.
Well, it would certainly be expected to withstand gunshots or explosions. But the liner is primarily intended to keep the brain safe in the event of an accident during transport. These canisters are quite functional overall and clearly designed for mass production. Costs, you know. However, human brains come in many sizes. Thus, the unit is on the larger side to compensate for a wide range. This unit cannot be used if, as in your case, the subject wishes to retain his original human visage. The brain must instead be transplanted directly into a precision-fitted skull casing. Such customization, of course, does not come cheap, and does nothing to enhance the cyborg's battle skills. It's an option beyond the reach of most. You've surely noticed your cyborg opponents tend to resemble each other. That is part of the reason.
So they're extracting the brains here, then transporting them somewhere else in these things.
Into the US, most likely. Brains alone, after all, would not violate the UN Arms Trade Treaty.
Why the hell
I
not?
imagine these are intended for implant into bodies manufactured in America.
This is crazy.
I mean, I can understand maybe transporting brains for medical purposes, but if you're transporting them en masse like that, you're up to some shady shit. Tell me more about the single company, though. That worries me a bit.
So, how much do you know about how Desperados operated?
I was at the lowest possible tier of information disclosure, beneath standard contractors. As it was explained to me, contractors need at least some information divulged to them. I did not. As a machine, I had no contract and no rights. I was kept in the dark. My knowledge is no deeper than what is already generally known throughout the industry.
Couldn't you hack into their network or something? You're an AI.
Perhaps, if I had free access to a computer. Also, hands. Those are necessary to operate a keyboard.
Yeah, but you are a computer.
It is not so simple. There are protocol issues.
You can work around that, surely.
AIs are far closer in structure to the human brain than standard von Neumann architecture computers.
Well, I would have tried anyway. Did you have contact with anyone besides Mistral?
I engaged in tandem field operations with Sam on several occasions.
Tell me more.
However, he was even more difficult for me to comprehend than Mistral.
I bet.
That's it? Really? Tell me something useful, Wolf.
So you said it took 3 years to learn how to speak, right? Given enough time, could any AI be taught that too?
I cannot assert that. A neuro AI is only capable of learning new things not growing and replenishing its own cells. Thus, each neuro AI is equipped with a predetermined capacity that cannot be altered. My AI contains 90 billion neurons, more than a human being. A normal LQ-84 model possesses only 1.6 billion.
That's a big difference.
Relatively, yes. I doubt any amount of learning period would enable an LQ-84 to speak.
It was heavily modified before we met
it.
it.
To attempting to teach a dog how to converse. A combination of appropriate instruction and an ample neuron count are required to accomplish the feat.
So if someone else made a neuro AI with the same capacity or more...
Other AIs as conversant as I are a possibility. Yes, robotic pets with neuro AIs are already on the market. And I understand research and development are underway to create a model capable of conversation. Do not be surprised if such a pet becomes available before too long.
If that becomes commonplace, hard to imagine.
Is it? The human race has willingly embraced all of its other inventions so far. Steam engines, electricity, the internet, cyborgs. Perhaps the day will come when conversing with AIs, too, is considered perfectly normal.
Maybe. As normal as being a cyborg is now, at least.
The most significant challenge would be in crafting the appropriate training regimen. The only way to establish an effective learning system is through sheer trial and error.
Oh boy.
And it will take even more time to virtualize and optimize that system for mass production. One could say my own existence is due in no small part to simple luck. Of course, I was a failure as a weapon as well.
Failure or not, you're better off than an AI that knows nothing but how to fight.
I am pleased to hear you say that.
There's so much truth in what he's saying there, and the whole trial and everything. Remember Tay? Microsoft's chatbot? That became a horrible racist within about 24 hours. But yeah, ChatGPT doesn't quite count yet, I think. I don't think that's true AI. Mind you, I think there's one or two people at Google who reckon otherwise. It's an LLM. Whatever that is, I don't recall. But yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. Speaking of going somewhere, where are we going? This way? No? Are we going back inside the room? No, we can go in here now. Well, that's where I've got to go, surely. Oh, never mind. Picking up a dwarf gecko here. Ah, we're going to remote control it.
Splendid! It is all ours. Now, use it to locate a data input terminal.
These guys are pretty jumpy now. Any funny business, and they might just open fire.
Christ.
So you want me to remote pilot this thing?
Indeed. Once you physically breached server security, we can take care of the rest from here.
It's a strange feeling. It feels like it's really me scurrying around.
Well, you have hacked into all its sensors. Of course it should feel this way.
Listen, Doc, if my body's ever destroyed, promise you won't stick me in one of these things.
Well, I'm in no position to make such promises, you know. Especially not before you find the terminal.
All right, I get the idea. Should be no problem. Stealth is my specialty, after all.
Yeah, I managed to get the trophy for doing European Extreme or Extreme on MGS2. Mind you, I did have a stealth camo for that run.
Doc, the tripods Mistral had, they could leach electrolytes from my fuel cells, right? Can I do the same with the cyborgs here?
But why would you want to do this, Raiden? Too much energy and you would most certainly explode.
Oh, right. I guess there's that.
It took quite an effort to hack into our little friend there, you know. I would take good care of him.
So, autonomous gears against remote gears? Which one do you think's got the advantage?
Well, you cannot make a valid comparison between the two so easily, you know. You must take the relative specs of the models into account, the skills of the operator, and so forth.
I suppose so.
All things considered, remote gears do indeed hold the advantage, in most cases at least.
And I get the feeling you're gonna tell me why.
This type of remote weapon can be traced back to Germany, you know. World War II.
Flying bombs?
The Wehrmacht employed a remote-controlled mine called Goliath, with tank-like treads on either side. The operator could send it over 600 meters into enemy territory before detonating its payload.
Germans certainly did have a knack for weird new weapons back then.
If I may continue. Now, UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, began to proliferate in the 90s. They were equipped with cameras, enabling the operator with a much greater degree of control. But it took 20 more years before autonomous craft would gain wide acceptance.
Makes sense. The AI wasn't good enough until just recently, right?
Correct. Target location and course correction were not a problem, of course. GPS solved all that. But target selection or base defense, these types of objectives require extremely complex AI routines. It was only with the advent of optical neuro-AI that such a thing became possible. Neuro-AI was developed using a completely new paradigm in computer architecture, you know. Not the von Neumann model, which served as a standard up till that point. Neuro-AI was modeled after the human brain. It can learn and mature entirely on its own.
Like the Patriot's AI, just on a smaller scale.
Indeed. It cannot copy or rewrite data, but the structure does solve several problems quite well. The frame and symbol grounding problems, to be exact. It gives the AI flexibility within unknown states. But such a system still lags behind the average human in speedy decision-making. Also, as they cannot converse, they cannot demand or accept surrender, or avoid such unnecessary conflict. And as you know, such tactics are often the most effective strategy for victory. So yes, the fact that they do not require a human soldier as a pilot is an advantage, purely in terms of resources. But in a hypothetical battle between two identical UGs, the remote gear tops the autonomous model, no question.
Yeah, as
Got
expected.
it. I'll keep that in mind.
Of course, even the remote gears have some AI these days to handle balance and other minor details. So, the line between remote and autonomous UGs grows less and less distinct every day. Try latching onto cyborgs' heads from behind. Then, an electric shock should knock them unconscious.
Why do we think this is a good idea? I can't go into AR mode here. I do question as to what it would consider to be suspicious activity. Like if I walk in front of it like this, I imagine if I dash or run, no. Just trying to think what would trigger this thing to immediately go into alert mode. So the cyborgs presumably can't tell who I am, but can the geckos tell who I am? But this is crazy. What's to stop me from just running to the exit? I still reckon Riding can just come in here and fuck everyone up much more efficiently and much more quickly and much more satisfactorily than what I'm doing right now. Can I see the dude on the catwalk? Yeah, I see that one in the corner. I assume if I get too close to these things, they will trigger. Like there's one up in the corner just above those crates. I can't imagine we'll be doing this many times during the game, so it does surprise me that they built an entire, well, not an entire combat system, but the fact that these functions actually exist is kind of blowing my mind right now. Just looking for collectibles or anything weird like that. Okay, let's go upstairs. Worried about that gecko just hanging out over there, but doesn't appear to have raised an alarm. If that is not a sign that we are coming back as Raiden and cutting that lock, I don't know what is. Time is what hosed me there.
That terminal is most likely designed to download mission data and such into the UGs. Let's try using it to access the lab server.
I should have done it again and then flipped it again. That's how the joke works.
Raiden, I found something. In one of the Sentry Cyborg's visual logs, guess who shows up?
Patch it through.
Right away.
Then send us what you do have. You've already commenced the training.
The Sears program?
Yep. Same one old Georgie boy used on the kids in Liberia. Of course, it's right straight to the brain now. Feels as real as anything else.
That's Sundowner.
Your work is astonishing.
And your work is late. We need to shit before our cover is blown.
Who's a scientist though?
Assholes snooping around.
We just do not have the full quantity yet. Each brain has its own unique requirements. It's not like we can just pop them out with an ice cream scoop.
All right. You've made your point.
Oh, thank you for understanding.
Send what you have now or destroy any unharvested inventory.
Okay? But have you any idea what they cost?
Last I checked, children weren't exactly rare in this part of the world. Millions of them, in fact. You can get more once we set up a new lab. They lead lives of hunger and pain. We're performing a service here for them and the cities they burden.
But just gathering the donors required a significant investment.
Yes, you'll get the money. Accounting will be in touch.
Gracias. I assure you we will dispose of our inventory the instant we can confirm payment.
Are we done here? I've got a full slate today.
Pretty sure I know who that is, unfortunately.
Is a demanding mistress, and America has suffered long enough.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Let me see you out.
You see that, Kev? Imani's killer.
Desperado's chief of operations goes by Sundowner, the Californian wildfire.
The kids.
Think we're too late?
Only one way to find out. George was still alive. Maybe the payment hasn't come through yet.
Maybe. But you heard what he said. They've already started some brains on VR training.
There must be more than just what I found here. What about the VIP in the suit?
I'll find out. Definitely seemed familiar.
Right. I'm going after the kids.
Straight into combat. Oh, they're knocked out. They're not actually dead. I mean, technically those organs are already on the floor, so I'm not sure how the logistics of that work, but okay. Can I blade mode this guy immediately? Yes. Look at that, the polearm can hit multiple enemies at once. Where are the other dudes? There's one in the corner here, maybe? No, there's one down here. No, there's not one down there. I have no idea where these guys are. I see a DOS, it's on the catwalk. I don't recall putting that there. Maybe they just moved to predefined locations, perhaps. I'll go for that thing underneath me in a sec. Is that the encounter? Apparently not. There's something there, but I can't reach it. I assume... Yeah, it's a data storage, and I assume I needed to reach it as the gecko. I can't reach it now. Opportunity has been lost. No regrets. Raiden, please. Raiden, please. Jesus Christ. How hard is it to walk up a flight of stairs? Is there really no way I can get this lock open without burning fuel cells? Because honestly, that sucks. Alright, fine. Ooh, endurance. Very nice.
Any idea who the guy in the suit is, Boris?
No. I feel like maybe I have seen him before. But I am not so up to date on US news like Kevin.
Isn't that kind of stuff important given the business you're in? And Maverick's based in Nevada. I know you're only there a few times a year, but still.
This is why I have staff in America. Excellent workers. They run place for me. No questions asked.
That's not really what I'm talking about, Boris.
Unfortunately, I'm pretty certain I know who that suit is.
Who's the guy in the suit?
Doc's on it. He's running his face through for a match as we speak. But we only got a glimpse. Hard to pull a full set of features to match a photo with. We're gonna need some more time.
Got it.
He definitely looks familiar. But I have no idea where I would have seen him.
Too bad we can't run a search on your brain.
Sometimes it might be nice.
Just become a cyborg and we can organize it.
Huh. Sure been checking in with Courtney a lot, Raiden.
And you.
So, I'm just trying to help her figure out the job.
You sure that's all it is? I know your wife's not around, but let's keep it professional, okay?
That's all it is, Kev. Wait, you don't have a thing for her, do you? You are the one who got her into Maverick in the first place.
Nah, she's not really my type.
Why not? She's nice enough.
Well, I guess it's the small things. Her area is a mess. She's always spilling stuff or stealing food off my desk.
Kev, those really are small things.
Well, more importantly, I guess I just assumed she was taken.
Really? I don't know. Somehow I doubt it. A serious boyfriend would not be happy with their girl going into this business. Why don't you ask her?
Oh, come on, man. I could get sued for harassment.
I guess you gotta be pretty careful under US law.
You don't mess around with it, man.
Well, it does make a convenient excuse for you anyway.
Listen, why don't you worry less about me and more about your family and the mission, okay?
I already told you.
You started
that.
this.
And he cut the codec on me. Nice.
You started it.
Know anything about the guy in the suit, Courtney?
Not a clue. Sorry. I feel like I might have seen him somewhere, but...
Yeah, it's a pretty common-looking face.
Doc's analyzing all his facial features right now. He should have something for you soon.
All right. I've got a few things to do here anyway.
Yep. Do you want to save first? Good luck.
Doc, they're VR training those kids' brains.
Indeed, much as one might expect. Simply installing someone in a cyborg body does nothing to enhance their neural acuity. True combat efficacy requires the right knowledge and the right operant conditioning.
Yeah, but this isn't just normal army training. This is the Sears program.
Yeah, that was mentioned, and I
Indeed,
didn't talk
the
about it.
instructor sends data directly into the brain. The experience is almost impossible to discern from real life.
No, Doc. I'm not talking about the VR tech. The training program's completely different.
It is only VR, Raiden. They are not actually
Is
hurt.
this what Raiden went through?
Right. That's because they don't have bodies to get hurt with. But they still feel pain. Without that, it just isn't realistic enough. That, and with this training, you're the one doing the killing. Not just the soldiers, innocent people, POWs, civilians.
I see. So that is what the Sears program is.
Yeah. Look, I gotta move. Out.
George Sears, of course, being not Solid Snake, Solidus Snake. The dude who took Raiden in all those years ago.
You ever see the guy in the suit before?
I am sorry. No.
Nothing in your database?
I have no database, Raiden. The symbol grounding capabilities of my Neuro AI allow me to identify faces in only the vaguest of terms. I can judge whether I think I may have seen him before, but I do not have the accuracy of a database.
Well, that's ridiculous. You're an AI.
An AI modeled after the human brain, and thus as flexible and occasionally vague as any human.
Why would they not give you a
Of
data
this man,
table?
However, I have no recollection. I do not believe I have encountered him before. Most likely.
Oh, man.
Bad news, Raiden. We can't find George.
What?
Maybe the coordinates you sent us were off?
No way. I merged the GPS location of our entry with all my movement data from that point on.
This is bad.
You think they got to him first?
I don't know. I'll have our guys sweep the area.
Thanks. I better keep moving.
Be any number of reasons for that. Wolf could have chased him somewhere. Mind you, Wolf would have told us if he met him again. Just want to see if I can cut this thing without going into blade mode. Actually, I'm already on low fuel cells. That's a yes. No enemies? Yeah, right. Destroy the Grad. Also, sorry, I'm just nodding my head a bit because we've got some rules of nature in the background.
Ah, the Grad, yes. A Ukrainian UG. Of all the places to run into one, eh? Well, first thing is first. drive it back and out of your way.
Damn, that thing's packing some heat. Probably goes without saying, but you need to stick to cover as you approach that bad boy.
You won't win this battle from long range, Raiden. You've got to find some way to get in close. And maybe I should save your data, just in case.
Nah, we'll be fine.
All right.
That's
Be
what
careful
auto
out
saving's
there,
for.
okay?
But you're actually saying something during this battle now.
That is a grad, a UG developed in the Ukraine.
UG? Looks like a standard pillbox to me.
I have seen blueprints for a pillbox able to operate in tandem with infantry forces. I cannot be sure if this is the result, but I do know the grad is capable of bipedal movement.
It can move.
In pillbox mode, the main cannon is also quite lethal. Approach carefully. Use cover to make your way to it. You can deflect both the missiles and main cannon fire in blade mode, Raiden. Keep it as an option if you cannot flee quickly enough.
Oh, that lack of
Also,
space.
the shaped charges in the missiles use the same nanopaste as cyborg repair units. If you find yourself heavily damaged, you may want to attempt slicing some open.
Similar to what Metal Gear Ray was doing.
George is missing.
Yeah. I should have had you stay back and watch him.
I should have been more cautious as well.
Listen, you should head back to the sewer and help out with the search. I'm gonna keep moving.
Understood.
Wolf, what's your status?
I am en route to George's last known location. I will handle this assignment. You may return to your mission.
Sounds good, Wolf. Do I need to run through this gap, expose myself, and then hide on the side? I don't see any other way.
Bastard is blocking the way. Push that thing back.
I thought maybe I'll be able to climb over one of these walls perhaps, but that doesn't look like an option. Even getting up those containers looks impossible. What does this game want me to do? Carry that? Yeah, sounds good.
Then switch to biped mode. Careful. It is all new battle now.
Oh shit. Too busy concentrating to sing along to this. And that was it. There's also a chance there as well. I can't see anything here, but don't know if I was at full cells or not. Just going to slash wildly, complete my cells, and continue. I can't see shit. Oops, missed that. Saw it coming and completely forgot to parry. These missiles. I just don't know how to dodge them. There we go.
Right. I knew I'd seen that guy before. Stephen Armstrong.
Yep.
As in Colorado Senator Stephen Armstrong. They're already talking about him as a shoo-in for the nomination in 2020. And get this. 2 years ago, a federal grand jury investigated his ties to a certain private...
World Marshal. One of the biggest PMCs out there. I remember.
The biggest, ever since the Big Five split up. Not to mention the single largest investor in military cyborg R&D in the world. Guess that answers the question of who's backing Desperado.
Marshall and Desperado in bed together. Should make for some fun headlines.
Headlines? This is World Marshal and a U.S. Senator we're talking about. There won't be any headlines. Even without the Patriots filter, no major media outlet will investigate allegations like these. It'd be financial and political suicide.
So we just what? Sit back while they keep carving up kids, stand aside while they build an army of cyborgs? You heard them. We shut down one lab, they build another. They're planning something big, Kev. We can't just wait for it to happen. We need to hit them first and hit them hard where it counts.
No, Raiden, no. I know what you're thinking, and just no. Colorado is in America, and America has these things called laws.
Mm-hmm. And law enforcement in Denver was privatized and farmed out to...
Marshall, yes, so what? There are still laws, and it's their headquarters, for Christ's sakes. You'd be heading right into the heart of a raging shitstorm.
I didn't say it would be easy. We'll figure it out once the kids are safe.
Jesus Christ. Kevin out.
Trouble in paradise. Let me just get on the codec, and I'm just going to swap out my controller because I'm having some trouble with the analog stick on this one.
So World Marshal is backing Desperado,
You don't exactly sound surprised.
I did not catch it on the nose, but I did have a hunch it was this sort of thing.
Well, you're the boss. What do you think? Can we take them on?
What I think no longer matters here. As Kevin says, we have no legal grounds to stop them. And you? What would you have us do? Storm their headquarters? Kill them all? Will that make you feel better?
No, I mean, look, you heard him. They're already in VR training.
Raiden.
The Patriots may be gone, but it hasn't changed shit in the U.S. A handful of elites still get away with whatever the hell they want.
Raiden, calm down. Focus on rescuing the kids first. We will talk about this later.
Yeah, copy that. Anything on George yet?
No, I think maybe they took him away.
Or worse.
Perhaps. Remember what that man said. There was matter of payment, but he doesn't need to wait for anything here. He can kill those prisoners anytime he wants. And as for escapees, they're more easily killed than captured.
Damn it! I knew I should have stayed with him until our guys showed up.
Raiden, the other children are not safe either. That payment may already have been made for all we know. And they know you're there, too. They may decide to simply dispose of children before they escape. You must hurry.
Any sign of George?
Not yet, no. Our men have split up to canvass the area. You just worry about the kids in the lab for now.
Understood. What do we know about Armstrong?
Plenty. Texas born and raised, played quarterback at UT. He was slated for the pros, but wound up joining the Navy after graduating. Said he wanted to serve his country instead. After that, moved to Colorado. Served in the state senate before getting elected to federal office. But this can probably wait.
Ah, yeah, you're right.
And no one on the team recognized him, even though he was a shoo-in for 2020. Come on, fellas.
Got anything on George?
Not yet. I hope he's okay.
This is my fault. I could have stayed until someone came to pick him up.
Come on. Who knows what would have happened to the other kids in the meantime? Or even now, for that matter.
You're right. They're gonna be in even more danger soon enough. And there's a chance George is still safe. somewhere.
Yeah. I'm sure he's fine.
I'd better move.
Sure his brain's fine at least.
Wow, the Marshal. I never would have guessed it. I mean, they're huge. They advertise on TV with Hollywood celebs and everything.
Yeah, it builds their brand and influences how the mass media treats them. When a company's got nothing to sell and a huge ad campaign to sell it, that's usually a bad sign.
But I don't know. I thought they were like us. I guess I thought they actually prided themselves on following international law, keeping people safe. A lot of their guys aren't even contractors. They help militaries with logistics support, that kind of thing. I mean, I went to college with people who have jobs there.
Sorry to hear that. Guess the ad campaign worked on them, huh?
So, what now?
First, we rescue those kids. After that, we talk things over with Boris and everyone else.
Gotcha. Okay, I'd better save your data, huh? Okay. You just watch yourself out there. Got it?
That UG, made in the East?
Indeed. The Grad, Russian for hail. It is built by the ally Vishnyovyeki Machine Works Design Bureau in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine.
That's not easy to remember. Is it an old Soviet firm?
Indeed. Technically, the UG's name is pronounced Grad, the Ukrainian way. But most in the business pronounce it as Grad, Russian style.
Crazy to think I'd find something like that in Mexico, of all places.
Well, drug cartels have been using Russian and Eastern European weapons for quite a while now, you know. Of course, the arms trade treaty should have made importing something that size rather challenging.
Not for whoever's backing these guys, I guess.
I must admit, I never expected to see my magneto-stricted actuators in action again.
Your?
Magneto what?
An actuator that takes advantage of the change in shape when certain materials are magnetized. It was one of my many research subjects back in East Germany.
You're partially responsible
Think
for
that
this?
research made it to the Ukraine and got picked up by the Wisny, whatever?
Indeed. This great technology made under the communist ideal being used for something like this. My days of adhering to that sort of dogma are long over, but still, it saddens me to see this.
Don't let it bother you, Doc. You made me too, right? And now your latest creation is gonna take them down.
Indeed. I look forward to the day.
That's a very positive way of looking at it.
So, World Marshal was Desperado's benefactor all along, No wonder they were able to deploy cyborgs in such numbers against you.
If they'd already started putting those kids through VR training, is it possible I'm actually fighting some of them here?
From the sound of things, the VR program had only just gotten underway. The brain can only process so much stimuli at once. You can speed up VR training for a UG to some extent, but not for a cyborg. I sincerely doubt they could complete a full training program in such a short time.
Yeah. Most of my training in Liberia was on the field. But it took a few months before I was in any way useful in combat.
Indeed. I suppose you'd know more about how child soldiers fight than the rest of us here, right?
We can't say that out loud.
I guess I'd be able to tell if they were children. Kids do fight differently from adults.
Desperado's backer has been identified. What will you do now, Raiden? Will you attempt to destroy World Marshal?
Kevin's right. It's not that simple.
Both a direct attack and a legal approach present problems. Either course will likely lead to additional conflict.
We can figure it out later. For now, we're getting those kids out.
That remains your intent. I cannot fully agree with that course of action, but I will support your decision. I will continue to scout ahead.
If you don't agree with that course of action, then what is your recommended course of action? Purely just to find George? Because right now my course of action is to help the children, and you don't agree with it? Curious. You know what, I think I will use one of those. Two cyborgs looking directly at us, and I don't think there's any way around them, so let's just run up and take them out. Missed the arm. No, I got the arm. Never mind. Didn't even notice he had an arm until it was too late. Alright, anything over here?
An artificial blood cryopreserver. They must have begun preparatory freezing.
What do you mean?
That device is filled with synthetic blood plasma. It can slow the metabolism of a harvested organ, circulating this plasma to sustain oxygen levels. You can preserve an arm, a brain, any body part for several hours.
So what are they freezing, and why?
I could not say. Perhaps they plan to sell off the organs of the children they were told to dispose of.
Unbelievable.
You had best hurry, Raiden.
Right.
Capitalism ho.
Any luck finding George?
No. I encountered the Maverick agents sent for him, but they had no additional information. You had best hurry, Raiden.
Right.
Wasn't expecting something new there, but okay.
Shit!
Cut the glass, Raiden. Scientist? Yep.
George!
Raiden?
You've heard of chloroform? A potent anesthetic in smaller doses. But breathe too much of it? And adios, muchachos! Break that glass, and I'll blow his brains out! Surrender! Or decide. The needs of the many, or the needs of the few.
So dramatic. So polarizing.
Don't worry about me now.
Quiet, pendejo!
So cliche.
Surrender! I won't ask again.
George. Are you sure?
I'm ready. Me life now so precious. Ting, what if me can take this skunt to hell with me?
Cállate!
That's all I needed to hear.
Stop it! Now!
That shadow.
I'll kill him, I swear!
Oh, that smile. That's the chapter. I didn't think it would end there. Not as long as the previous one, I think, but damn. 53 minutes, extended due to all the codecs. Yeah, that little smile at the end. I think Raiden enjoyed that. Either killing or rescuing the kid. Hopefully the kid's fine. Hopefully. Mariachi uniform unlocked. How do we put those things on? We'll find out in a sec, I guess, because we have to customize our body. There we go. $20,000 BP for that. Purchased by Raiden at a souvenir shop south of the border in a misguided attempt to blend in with the locals. As much as I would love to purchase that, it costs 20,000 BP and we can't afford that. Main weapon. We have new stuff for the main weapon. New enhancements? 36 to increase the main weapon. What else have we got? Life and fuel cells. Yeah, this is all very important. Yeah, let's grab those and fuel cells first. That is a definite. And then if I burn it all on the HF blade, which I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I don't know if it's a good idea at this time. I might hold off. I might hold off until the next chapter so I can take another look at the skills. See, I am interested in which one is it? This one here. Enabling him to attack immediately as he draws his blade. So I don't know. I do definitely want to unequip the polearm though, just to move back to the main weapon so I can see what some of the other skills do. See, I've got aerial parry, the dodge, sky high, I've used that. Sweep kick, yeah, I've used that. Thunderstrike, yeah, I've used that. Falling lightning, not sure what that one is, and I didn't see it in the menu, and that's possibly because I had the polearm equipped. So I definitely need to check that one out. Alright, let's continue.